Hi everyone, this is Ramesh and welcome to my channel. So in our previous video, I have explained about integer chapter, properties of integers. I clearly explained what are the properties of integers along with an examples. So here in this video, let us learn how to compare the integer numbers. What are the integer numbers? How to compare and how to write the greatest integer and smallest integers and basic operations on integer numbers. That means addition of integer numbers, subtractions, multiplications and divisions of integer numbers. How to do it, the basic operations of integer numbers, let us learn in this video. So without wasting time, let's come to that. First, let us compare. First, what is the integer numbers first? Integers are denoted by I or Z. I or Z. Then, what are the integers? The set of positive numbers, 0 and negative numbers are known as a set of integers. Here there is a word. A famous mathematician said, till the integers are God-made numbers. The rest numbers are made by human. That means till integers are God-made numbers. After then, like a rational numbers, real numbers and prime numbers, composite, this all we have divided by the man-made. Let's see that what is the bigger collection of integers. As we know, the set of 0, positive numbers, like this, there will be infinitive numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. From 1 to infinitive, they are natural numbers. 0 to all infinitive, positive infinitive, they are whole numbers. Then before the 0 also, there will be numbers, as we have learned in our 6th class. What are that? Like a -1, -2, -3, -4 and so on till negative infinity. So the bigger collection here, positive infinity to negative infinity, all these set of numbers are known as integer numbers. Then, as we know, here 0 there is no value until and unless there will be numbers before the 0. Suppose here the 0 has this no value, but if you write 5 here, it's a 50 now. Here 0 gives the value of 5. It increases the value of 5. This normally now it is a 5. If I keep a 0 after this number, it says that the 5 comes in the tens place, so it increases. So let's see that. Let us compare the positive numbers once. Later we'll come to the negative numbers. Let's come to the positive numbers. Let us take some numbers like positive numbers. Here 5, here 6. Which is the greater number in this? 5 or 6? Obviously 6 is the greater number. Then here 15, here 17. Which is the greater number in this? 17 is greater than 15. Okay. 25 and 250. Which is a greater number here? 250 is a greater number. 25 is smaller number. So in positive numbers, it is very easy to identify what is greater number and what is smaller number. And 0 is the smallest number comparing to all positive numbers. Then, in positive values, very easy to identify what is greater number and smaller number. But when it comes to the negative numbers, this all called as a negative numbers. When it comes to the negative numbers, it's quite opposite to the positive numbers. So, let's take the same examples here. Minus 5, minus 6. Which is the greater number in this? Normally you may say minus 6 is the greater because 6 is the big number. But in the case of positive numbers, 6 is the greater number, 5 is the smaller number. But in the case of negative numbers, it is different. That means it will be reciprocal of this. So here minus 5 is a greater than minus 6. Minus 6 is a small value than minus 5 here. Then let's take here minus 15, minus 17. Here also minus 15 is greater number. Here minus 25 and minus 250. You should not say that minus 250 is a greater number and minus 25 is a smaller number. Should not say that. Because here minus 25 is a greater than minus 250. Here it is different in the positive values. Here 6 is greater than 5, 17 is greater than 15. Here 250 is greater than 25. So in this way you can do it. Just I will tell you. Here you remember children, when a number comes near to 0, a number comes to the near to 0, the value of number is increases. The figure of the number may increases. See, when the numbers go to the far to the 0, here the value of number is decreases. So just see, here 1 is very near to 0, minus 1 is very near to 0. So minus 1 is the greatest number in negative integers. Minus 2 is a smaller than minus 1. Minus 3 is smaller than these two numbers. So remember, when a number comes near to the 0, the value of number is increases in negative number. If a number is very far to the 0, the value of number is decreases. Suppose minus 1 is greater or minus 100 is greater now. Easily we can say the minus 1 is very near to 0. Then minus 100 is very far to 0. So minus 1 is greater than minus 100. Simple. So here let's come minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. Minus 1 after 0. 0 after there will be, however you know the positive values. So here the positive values always greater than negative values. Suppose let comes to this. Here there is a minus 4. Here there is a plus 4. If there is no symbol before the number, always it is a plus. That you remember. If there is no symbol or no sign before the number, that is always a positive. So here there is a minus 4, here there is a plus 4. Which one is greater value? As I told you just before, the positive values are always greater than negative values. So always the positive values are bigger numbers. Here minus 100, here 1, plus 1. So plus 1 is greater. Should not see that the 100 is a bigger number, but before the 100 there is a minus. It is in minus. It is in last like. Okay. So positive values always greater than negative values. And in negative numbers, minus 1 is greatest number. Minus 1 is the greatest number in negative integers. Here it is a positive integers, here there is a negative integers. Okay, it is 0. So the set of positive integers, negative integers and 0 is known as complete integer. This is bigger collection of integers. I hope you understood how to compare the negative integers and which value is greater and which value is less. For more, one more example here, minus 500, minus 50. Which is greater now? Here 500 is a bigger number, but the value of 500 is small. Here 50 is a smaller value, but the value of 50 here big, because in the negative numbers it happens like this. The value of 50 is greater than the value of minus 500. So here minus 50 is a greater number than minus 500. I hope you understand how to compare this. Then we do it some basic operations on these integer numbers. So what are the operations? Let's see. And we add a small numbers like first. Okay. Before we add the numbers, I'd like to tell you some operations on signs. That means operations on symbols. How to do the operations of symbols? That means when we multiply two positive numbers, when plus into plus, it gives us a plus. Positive into positive is always gives us a positive. Plus into plus equal to plus. And minus into minus is equal to also plus. If two negative numbers if you multiply, you get positive value. This you remember. And the next two are very simple. Plus into minus equal to minus, or not the reciprocal, minus into plus equal to also minus. These four you need to be remember. Plus into plus equal to plus. Minus into minus equal to plus. Plus into minus or minus into plus equal to minus. That means if you multiply two positive values, it will give us positive value only. If you multiply two negative numbers, it will also give us positive value only. If you multiply one positive, one negative number, it will give us negative value. Just you remember this, later will come to that. First of all, let us come to the addition of these integers. Suppose, as we know, 5 plus 5 equal to 10. Very easy to do it. Then let's do the same again, but in the negative integer, minus 5 and minus 5 equal to what? Plus 5. Here there is a no symbol before this number. It seems it is the plus. 5 plus 5 is 10. That means plus 10. Minus 5 and minus 5 is give us minus 10. Minus 10. The sum of two negative integers is also give us a negative integer. The sum of two negative numbers is also a negative number. Remember that the sum of two negative number is also a negative number. Let's do some more questions. In these type of questions you can do it infinity. Like you see, 15 plus 15 is give us 30. The same way we take it, the negative integers here, minus 15, minus 15. The sum of two negative integers here, it gives us minus 30. To understand you, let me give you a general example. There is a one shopkeeper who started a business recently. Okay. Then, the first day when you open, you got 200 rupees loss. 200 rupees loss. The loss always shows in the negative. That means you got 200 rupees loss. Minus 200. This is a first day. Okay. Well, the second day, when he reopened the shop, he got 300 rupees loss again. Loss again we shows in the negative. What is the total loss? What is the total loss you got it in these 2 days? That you can say directly 500 rupees. Yes? 500 rupees in loss. 500 rupees in loss. That means minus 500. Yes. Let me take one more example. Suppose you have 10 chocolates with you, or not 10 rupees with you. You have a 10 rupees. First day, you purchased 3 rupees for your own uses. Okay? You purchased, that means you spent it. The second day, you spent 4 rupees. That means that 4 rupees and 3 rupees are left from you. That means you spent it. You don't have that. What is the total amount you spent? That is minus 7. Minus 3, minus 4, you got minus 7. Here, minus 200 rupees and minus 300 rupees. This gives us minus 500 rupees. So, here you need to be understand the concept is the sum of two negative numbers is also give us a negative number. Yes? The sum of two positive numbers always give us a positive numbers. So, that means here the sum in the sixth place. Here. We are adding two positive numbers. Else we got as a positive number. Here there are two negative numbers. When you got the two negative numbers, add the two negative numbers also. From minus 5, you subtract minus 5 again, it's come to the minus 10. These kind of problems, normally you have to be image on number line. Okay. Then here, plus 15 and plus 15 is plus 30. That means sum of two positive numbers is a positive number. The sum of two negative numbers is also a negative number. Suppose minus 1 and minus 7 give us minus 8. Minus 18, minus 12. It is minus 30. So, here you have to be understand the four concepts here. Okay, let me write more clearly here to clarify your doubts. Okay, to clarify your doubts, and we do it more clearly again. Let's go for first one. 5 plus 7 equal to 12. A simple example to be understood. Yes, 8 plus 5 equal to 13. 25 plus 15, that equal to 40. Here what kind of problems I took? Simple. The problems I took here, both the numbers plus and plus. The sum of two positive numbers is also a positive number. Let me take it. Some more questions which contains only negative numbers. That means sum of two negative numbers is also give us a negative numbers. The sum of two negative numbers will also give us a negative number. Suppose minus 5 minus 7 is equal to minus 12. Then let's go for minus 30 minus 50, that equal to minus 80. Here minus 120 minus 60 equal to minus 180. The sum of two negative numbers is also give us a negative number, that you need to do. Next, the third kind of questions. These are very important to be learned. So when you make a mistakes, hear the part. Let's learn what are these kind of problems. 5 minus 2 equal to, very simple. From 5 you subtract 3. Yes, answer is 3. Let's take the same 2 minus 5. What is the answer? From 2 subtract 5. Or from 2 subtract 5. 1, 2. There is no figures to be subtracted here. There are no numbers again to subtract here. Should not say. This will say very primary classes children. You are upgraded your class. You have to upgrade your calculations also. So from 2 we can subtract 5. As we know the negative integers in the primary classes children, they don't know, they don't have any idea about a negative integers. Now you have an idea, clear picture about the negative integers. So from these two numbers subtract 5. Let us subtract that. This also we learn in the on number line, integer number line. There you can clarify your doubts again clearly. From 2 you subtract 5. Let us subtract. Okay, 1, 2, finished. Let's subtract minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. You get here answer as a minus 3. From 2, if you subtract minus 5, you get minus 3. So let's do it. Minus 12 minus 12 minus 5. 12 minus 5. Can you separate? Directly you can say as a 7. 7. Yes sir. Then same thing. 5 minus 12 equal to minus 7. Simple. So in these two examples, what we have understand the same concept applied here in these two examples. Let's do the sum more again. 50 minus 100, that equal to minus 50. Okay. Then minus 200 plus 100. In this case, minus 200 plus 100. Need not to worry. So here I will tell you trick. Then remember always, if there is a plus and one minus in operations, here there is a one plus number, here there is a one minus number. Here there is a one positive number, here there is a one negative number. Here one positive, here negative, positive and negative. When there is a one positive number and one negative number. Here one positive number, negative number, or negative number or positive number, whatever. In a problem, when doing operations, the sums, when there is a one positive number and one negative number, always do subtraction. Always do the subtraction. Always do the subtraction when you get operations of one positive and one negative number. If there is a sum of one positive and one negative number, the sum of one positive and one negative number, always do the subtraction. Let's do the subtraction. Here one negative number and one positive number. Let's do the subtraction. How to do the subtraction? As you wish. So from 200 we subtract the 100. No problem. We get 100. Always see that when don't mind the signs, here there is a 200, here there is a 100. Which of these is greater? There is 200 is a greater number. What is the symbol before the number? Minus. Hence you get the minus. The bigger number value, the symbol will come as a answer symbol. Let us observe the same thing here. Positive number, one negative number. Let us subtract 5 minus 2 is 3. What is the bigger number in these two? Just don't mind the signs. 5 is the bigger number. So there is a positive. We get positive symbol here. Here one positive, one negative. Even we are subtracted. So hence this 2 and 5. 5 is the greater number. 5 before there is a minus. So we get the minus. Simple. So if you confuse in the subtractions of integer numbers, you can go for this. 12 minus 5. From 12 you subtract 5. We got 7. What is the greater number? 12. 12 before there is a plus. So you got plus. Here 5 minus 12. So you have done, you have subtracted from the 5 12. Other 12 you subtracted from the 5. Hence, so don't mind the signs or symbols. Let's see what is the greater number? 12. 12 before there is a minus. So you get the minus. Here also you done the same. 50 minus 100. From 50 we cannot subtract the 100. From 100 you subtract 50. We get 50. Which is the greatest symbol, greatest number? Here 100. 100 before there is a minus symbol. So keep the minus. So here 100, 200 plus minus 200 plus 100. Minus 200 plus 100. Don't mind that the minus is first and the positive number is next. Don't mind. But here the concept is, here we are adding one positive number, one negative number. In this case, always to subtract. Let's go for always subtraction. From 100 to you subtract 200. It's not possible now. So 200 minus 100, that is 100. Compare the numbers now. The next step, comparing the numbers. So don't mind the symbols when comparing the numbers. Then here 200 is greater number. Before there is a minus, so we are getting a minus. In this way you can do it. Or not always imagine these numbers. We are doing an integer number lines. We are doing on a number line. You get a more clear. Let me do it only one question on the number line. Suppose the second question I will do it. Here it is the integer number line. 0, right side there will be positive numbers. 0, left side there will be negative numbers. First let us see. Plus 2. 2 is located here. Plus 2. Minus 5. Let's come to the 5 steps. 5 steps. The left side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's come. 2 to the. We have subtracted 5 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. While subtracting, we have to move the left side. While adding, we have to move the right side on the number line. While subtracting, we have to move the left side on the number integer number line. While adding numbers, we have to move the right side on the integer number line. Just if you imagine these numbers, if you are feeling difficult in the calculations, you just imagine the numbers on the number line and do the operations. There you feel very easy to do it. So here the three concepts actually. When there is a two positive numbers, we get a positive number. When there are two negative numbers, definitely we get a negative number. But in the case of one positive and one negative number, in the case of one positive number and one negative number, here you have to be very careful while doing the operation. One positive number and one negative number. We are adding both. In this case, just go for that. Subtract always. The greater number symbol will comes as a answer symbol. Remember once again, when the operation of one positive number and one negative number. In this case, always go for subtraction, and you have to put the symbol as a greater number symbol as our answer symbol. So as we did here, see the second example, one positive number, one negative number. Then we went for subtraction. So 2 minus 5 is not possible. Then 5 minus 2 you do it, no problem. In the reverse way you do it or positive way you do it. But the second step you should not forget. There are only two steps. One positive one number and one negative number. Subtract it. So 5 minus 2, 3. Finished. The greater number symbol should come as an answer symbol. Greater number is 5. That will be answer symbol. This is in the case of one sum of one positive, one negative, or the sum of one negative number and positive number. Always we have to do the subtraction. The greater number symbol should come as our answer symbol. Then when comes to the same problem, these are the sums. When come to the multiplications, it will little important to be learned where we have to do the multiplications actually. These are the only sums. Okay. Let us do the multiplications. Very easy. Okay. Then where we have to do the symbols multiplications. This is very important. In unnecessary problems, that means where is required to do the multiplication, then we have to do it. Let's come. Here, minus 2 plus of minus 5. Solve this problem. Minus 2 plus of minus 5. So here we need to be understand. This we are reading as of minus 2 plus of minus 5. This we can't write like this one. Minus 2 plus minus 5. Have you seen this kind of problems anywhere in the textbook? In your previous classes? No. When two signs comes immediately, then we use the brackets. This called as a open bracket actually. Or that we study as a of. So the or means here these two symbols multiplies each other. So here the symbols multiplication I told to remember that. Yes. Let us we have to do it. In the case of when you get a brackets, the two symbols comes immediately where we have to do the multiplications of these signs. Let's see one more question like okay, I'll do it here. There you get a clarity. Here, -2 plus or minus 1. So let us rewrite this statement again. Let us rewrite this statement now. Mathematical statement. Let us rewrite. -2. So what does mean of this bracket actually? This bracket means that do the multiplication. Bracket is always tells that do the multiplications. With what we have to do the multiplication? Here there is a plus. Here there is a minus. These two symbols we need to multiply. There is a two symbols. No. Immediately it comes two symbols. How can we do the operations? So there is a problem. So we'll reduce the two symbols into the one symbol by the products of signs. The product of the symbol sign. Okay, let's do it. Here plus bracket is nothing but just now I have told you that is into. Plus into minus. Plus into minus is always minus. The product of one positive and one negative number, or else the product of one negative and positive number, always negative. The product of one positive and negative number always give it a negative. So this symbol, this plus or minus or not plus into minus is give us minus, and directly you can write it as 5. Now as we know that here just before we have learned that how to do the operations of here. There are two negative numbers. The sum of two negative numbers is always a negative number. Let us take one more example. Let us. Okay. -12 minus of minus 5. -12 minus of minus 5. Here again, this bracket tells us multiply these two symbols. Let us -12 minus into minus. Minus into minus. Here, the product of two negative integers is a positive. That means the product of two negative numbers will give us a positive symbol. Minus into minus will give us plus. There is a number 5. Let us bring it down here as it is. Yes. Here you have to be careful again. The sum, it is a plus. The sum of one positive and one negative number. When the sum of one positive and negative number here we wrote before, we have to always subtract. Let us subtract. Okay. 5 minus 12. 5 minus 12 is 7. With 7, let us compare these two numbers. Just forget about the symbols. 12 is greater number. Before the 12 there is a minus. Keep the minus. Or not. From 5 on the integer number line, just imagine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is enough here positive integers. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8. This is enough actually. -9. Okay, let's go for first. Arnold, you go for till -12, -10, -11, -12. Yeah, this is what we did. Okay. From always you have to bring down from the 0. That I will tell you on the integer number line. Let's go for 12 is located here on the number line. So plus 5. Just before a couple of minutes back, I told you that when there is a positive, you have to move the right side of the integer number line. How many steps? There is a 5 steps. Let us move it. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here it stops. The value here -7. If you match every number on the integer number line, there also you can do it. I have not told you the trick. You remember that the sum of one positive and negative. Always use subtract and greater number symbol you put as a answer symbol. So let's take one more here. 5 plus or minus or plus 7. Here also should not confuse it. both the signs are placed. Let us, this bracket will tell us multiplication. Let us see the ones. Look at that. 5 place into place is place 7. 5 place 7 is 12. Simple. Next, let's go for that. One more, like minus 5 place of minus 12. Very simple questions I am taking here, because these kind of problems you are going to be faced in integer numbers, exercise number 2 and 3. Okay, just remember, and 4 also, exercise number 4. Only this is the main basics to complete first 4 exercises in 7th class integers chapter. Exercise number 1 to exercise number 4. If you are perfect this video clear, I am sure that you are able to do 4 exercises from the 7th class. Let us do this simple. I know you can be able to do it now. Minus 5. Here plus into minus. This is a minus 12. The sum of two negative integers is also a negative integer. That is minus 17. Minus 5, minus 12, minus 17. So, you watch this video twice and thrice, because here you do the many mistakes when problems comes before you. One problem if you are solving, there you get a doubt what to do it. Operations, multiplications of symbols is different. The sum of the symbols are different. Before I explained how to add the integers, how to subtract integers, that means when 2 positive numbers comes, how to do it. When there are 2 negative numbers comes, how to do the problem. When one positive, one negative number comes, how to do the problem I told you. Then after, I explain now this product of the symbols, product of the signs. Okay, the 2 symbols comes immediately with the using of a bracket. Then we have to multiply this. If there is no bracket, you should not multiply. Some of the children, they do this actually. Minus 2 plus 5 equal to, what they do it, you know. Many of them will write this is minus. But it's absolutely it's the wrong answer. How they mean, you know. Simple. They always follows that minus into plus is minus. 5 minus 2 is 3. This is what you people will do it. Definitely 100% will do it. But should not confuse, as I told you. Watch the video twice and thrice very clearly until your doubts get clear. Again, if you have any kind of doubt, comment me in the comment box. Thank you for watching this video. Wait for my next video. Bye.